Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 12 of Corecraft Season 1. My name is Dreeved and we are sitting here inside our boat HQ. And you definitely have noticed by now that I do have a new skin. We are no longer using the maid cult skin just because of the fact that nothing really happened with the maid cult and, it was getting kind of boring with that whole thing and I want to move on to bigger and greater things. And also, I was a little sick of the skin, to be honest. I wanted a normal skin. But on stream on Sunday, right after the upload, as always, we did a little bit of work. Now, obviously, this isn't exactly how you guys remember seeing it in the last episode. So we still have our frame on the outside here, but on the inside is where it's really, really special. You can see that we have completed the inside walls, and there is gray concrete and sea lanterns on the inside. Sea lanterns keep it illuminated and make it look super nice. And on the outside, we'll do something very, very similar, but instead of gray concrete, we'll be using smooth stone. Not that stone, but, like the construction material smooth stone. And you guys probably also noticed that these 3 sections are not filled in, and that is for good reason. The reason why I'm keeping those 3 sections open for now is just because of the fact that I do want to put a big piston door here at the bottom so we have an entrance. And then after that, once I've determined the size and it's all built, then we can build the rest of our walls. I just don't want to build the walls first and have to tear them down for the piston door. That's pretty much it in terms of the base. We will be doing something down there in the middle, but we're not going to start just yet because I do want to explain what we're doing first. So our main plan by the end of this episode is to get a full beacon. Now, I don't have a working iron farm, so we can't get it using iron. And I thought the next best way is to use emeralds. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a trading hall filled with fletchers. And we are going to trade sticks for days upon days until we can get enough emeralds to give ourselves a full emerald beacon. Now, of course, we only have, I think, 1 wither skeleton skull, so we also need to get 2 more and fight the wither itself. So that's going to be a whole nother fun thing in and of itself, but that'll probably be towards the end of the episode. But overall, we got a decent amount of stuff to work on today, so let's go ahead and make this happen. Now, the first step in getting villagers is to find a village. So we need to go ahead and find a village that's somewhere on the coastline here and kidnap some villagers in a boat. Then we're going to need to bring them into the center here and bring them underneath this foundation because that's what I want to do. I want to bring them into like an underground facility, like a room probably in one of the corners, and have them sit in there. But of course, firstly, we need to actually build like hallways and stuff like that underneath here so we have the space to build rooms. And of course, we have to build the room itself as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some materials, do some testing, and let's see what we can come up with. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see down at the bottom, we have our entrance into our secret little lab. There's nothing down here just yet, but I've already come up with a design for the hallways and everything like that, and it's using some of the previous materials that we have left over, so it matches the block palette and we don't have to go out grinding for resources. And also, since the last clip, I went over to a sea temple, I grabbed about a stack of sponge, which should help us out drastically while making these hallways. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and hop into a time lapse and get these hallways done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just finished with the first of 4 different hallways down underneath in our little hidden lab. Now clearly this isn't 100% spawn proof just yet, but hopefully in the future we can correct this problem. But overall it looks pretty good. I'm loving the design, and there will be doors here going out into different rooms and stuff like that, so there will be quite a bit of the space being used in here. But you may or may not have noticed that there is a little bit of a leakage problem. And I'm not just going to leave this here. we're going to solve this problem and make sure that it's not going to happen. Because, as you can tell, this is very, very annoying, just having water drip on you all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put dirt all across the top. We're actually going to see if that helps. Theoretically, it should help if all the blocks are 2 blocks thick. Therefore, no water should drip in. So I'll be right back when I place down the dirt blocks. That looks much, much better. As you can see, all the water's gone, and it looks absolutely amazing. Now, another thing you may have noticed is that these end rods don't have the little purple things on the ends. That's because of a texture pack in Vanilla Tweaks that gets rid of the purple thingamajiggies so that you don't see them. Personally, I absolutely love the look of having no purple thingamajiggies on there. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to go check out Vanilla Tweaks. They have resource packs, data packs, and crafting tweaks. So they are a very useful site, and it is essentially run and promoted by the one and only Exumaboid, aka the admin of the Hermitcraft server. But of course, like I said, I wanted to work on villager things. Now, you can't work on villager things if you don't have a villager room. So, essentially, we need to pick a part of this hallway to put our villager room, and then we're going to need to actually build it. So, I'm thinking we have it pretty close to the main entrance right here. So, maybe this part of the wall right here. This could easily work, because it's not too far. It's on the left side. We have plenty of room over here. I mean, just look at the amount of space we have, and we can even go down if we wanted to. So I'm going to do a little bit of mining here, get rid of some of the wall, redesign it a little bit, and I'm going to see what I can create here. I just want to take a second, just take a look at how many sponges I used for this entire room here. Way too many sponges. Now just look at this, people. You cannot tell me that this doesn't look like a pretty decent room. Now, of course, I mean, there might be some changes in the future, but overall, I would say I'm pretty satisfied with it for the time being, at the very least. Now, I have actually noticed there has been a lot of mob spawns lately, so I just kind of threw torches everywhere. And we'll probably figure out some way to hide some lighting throughout the base and prevent the mobs from spawning. But for now, it is not my biggest concern whatsoever. But now that we have our villager room, the next thing we need to work on is actually getting the villagers inside of the building. So there is a Savannah village that is just west of here by like 1,500 blocks. It's a long way, but I know it's almost guaranteed that the villagers will be there. So we're going to go head over there with a lot of boats, and we're going to bring them over, and we're going to get ourselves some villagers. We have our last villager in the back of our boat here, and we are heading back to the base. We are back at the base, and we have both of our villagers right there. And John decided it would be funny to just place bamboo in front of me while I'm recording. Don't worry, we'll get him back. I guess it's April Fool's. And free bamboo. I won't complain about free bamboo. You know, we always gotta thank people. You know, thank you too. But we must go further down, and we must put them in the hidden room of secrets, aka the villager slave room. That's one villager down. Please let me out. And I think he's going. But that's pretty much all we needed to do for the transportation of the villagers. Next thing we need to do is just make sure that they stay exactly where they are supposed to. These gates should easily prevent that from happening. Now, of course, we also need to get some beds down here, which will be a hassle in and of itself. I'll probably figure out a way to get some wool and some beds. And of course, fletching tables, because our main source of income is going to be from fletchers. So I'll be back when I have all the workstations ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, after several hours of AFKing, fixing problems, and getting frustrated because nothing was working, we finally have some villagers in our villager area. Now, you may have noticed that the floor is now grass, and I don't know why I had to switch it to this. Essentially, we had these stone slabs here, but they're also waterlogged on the underside. If we just go ahead and take a look real quick here, they are waterlogged. At least most of them are. So, essentially, their pathfinding got screwed up and stuff like that. And essentially, we have a bunch of fletching tables. We got a bunch of fletchers. Oh, wow. Every single thing is filled. Every single bed is filled. That is awesome. That is absolutely amazing. And that means we have 20 villagers. So essentially, we have a lot of emeralds to make. So over time, off camera, I will be grinding out as many emeralds as possible. And hopefully, we can make ourselves an emerald beacon by the end of the episode. No guarantees though. So let's see what we can make happen. Everyone, it has been at least 4 hours that I have been slaving away here, cutting down so many trees. You can see by my axe's durability, it's about to break. And I want to show you how many emeralds we got. Right here, as you can see, we have more than enough emeralds to make ourselves an emerald beacon. The only thing we need left is our wither skeleton skulls. Now I do believe somewhere we actually, yep, here it is. We have our wither skeleton skull right here. So all we need is 2 more and then we can get it. So let's go make that happen. And let's get ourselves an emerald beacon. And I just realized that I wasn't even recording that. So that's fun. Well, as you guys can see, I got the wither star. So all we need to do is put together a beacon, and then we are good to go. And by placing this block, it should give us the Beaconator achievement, and if we fully power it up, it should do the same. Now we have both resistance and regeneration inside our base with our fully emerald beacon. Now I do not plan on having this here for much longer, because I want this to be my mobile beacon, so this will probably stay in a shulker box for most of the time, but it could stay here for now until I need to use it, which is totally fine with me. On another note, I took a trip over to the iron farm today. It seemed to be working quite alright, so I'm going to give it an attempt to go ahead and AFK here tonight at the iron farm. So we'll see what happens, and I'll see you guys in the morning with what we got.